NA1SS, this is N2FJ, over.
NA2FJ from NA1SS for scheduled contact.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Peake and welcome aboard the International Space Station, where we're orbiting Earth 16 times every day. One of the most rewarding activities that some astronauts undertake on orbit is to talk to schools using the space station's ham radio. Now these are events that are planned by ARIS, which is a worldwide group of amateur radio volunteers who are dedicated to introducing young people and students to science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Now this is the equipment here in the Columbus laboratory, which consists of a handheld radio, a headset, and we also have a ham video unit. Now as the International Space Station orbits above your location, a radio link is established between the ISS and your school. Now because we're travelling at nearly 18,000 miles per hour, which is an incredible 25 times the speed of sound, we usually get about 9 or 10 minutes of good radio contact before losing the signal. So about 5 minutes before the scheduled start time of the contact, I come into the Columbus laboratory and configure the radio so that I'm on the correct channel. And sometimes I'll set up the ham video too. Just before the predicted time, I'll begin to start calling the school using the standard amateur radio calling techniques. For example, if the call sign of your school was GB4 Fun, I would say Golf Bravo 4, Foxtrot Uniform November. This is Golf Bravo 1 Sierra Sierra, listening and standing by. Now at your school, the radio operator will be listening for my call, but may also transmit and try to call me as well. You'll probably have a much more powerful transmitter on the ground than we have up here on board, so I'm likely to hear you before you hear me. Then, once we can hear each other, then comes the best bit, which is actually talking to the students and answering the questions. Once I've answered all the questions, we use the remaining time to say goodbye to each other and end the connection. I'll then spend a few minutes configuring the radio back into a rebroadcast mode, and then I'll go back to my day job, which is of course doing science on board the International Space Station. ARIS is a brilliant opportunity for astronauts to talk to school pupils. It's really rewarding to hear how excited the students are when they're talking to somebody up here in space. And it's a true privilege to be able to inspire our next generation of scientists and engineers through amateur radio.
All right, everybody, here we go. Missy, would you please start the recording?
Yes, sir. Please stand by. Welcome and thank you for standing by. At this time, I'd like to inform all participants that today's call is being recorded. If you have any objections, you may disconnect at this time. All lines have been open for the duration of the call, so if you could please mute your phone when not speaking to reduce on background noise. Thank you, and you may begin.
Hello, everybody. This is Brian Jackson, Victor Echo 6 Juliet Bravo Juliet in Airdrie, Alberta, Canada. I'll be the amateur radio moderator for today's event. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the International Space Station, we hope to soon establish ham radio contact with the ISS as it flies more than 400 kilometers above the Earth towards Australia. This is all accomplished with ARIS, amateur radio on the International Space Station. The ISS is currently flying over the Indian Ocean on a northwest to southwest to southeast heading, whizzing along at around 28,000 kilometers an hour. This contact today will be performed using the Amateur Radio Telebridge Network, a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enable students to contact the ISS. What makes today's contact unique is the fact that all participants are safely situated in their homes to avoid personal contact in line with current COVID-19 protocols. The exception is Shane and his wife at the ground station in Australia, who are also following safety protocols. We call this a multi-point contact, and they've been done a few times in recent months. Thanks to all of you for joining us today and staying safe during today's event. ARIS is a consortium of ham radio volunteers from 9 nations that develop and operate the amateur radio station on the International Space Station. Some members of ARIS are the American Radio Relay League, the worldwide AMSAT Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations, the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the Russian Federal Space Agency. The amateur radio ground station that will establish contact with the ISS today is Victor Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel 0 in Queensland, Australia, operated by Shane Lind. Thanks for helping us out today, Shane, and all of your work to make us connected to the ISS. We have about 4 minutes until contact time. Our contact for today is with Akiko Hoshide, KE5DNI, a mission specialist on the SpaceX Crew 2, who will be operating NA-1SS on board the International Space Station. Akiko will be talking to students at the Roots Home Education, a program of Father's House Christian School in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This event is also being broadcast around the world via the internet through the ARIS YouTube channel. Many thanks to Steve and John in the USA for their work to make this broadcast possible. At this time, we've asked Leslie George, Program Principal, to please briefly tell us about your homeschool program and the students taking part today. Take it away, Leslie.
Thank you very much. Again, my name is Leslie George. I'm the principal at large for Roots Christian Home Education. And Roots is a Christian education program that you had mentioned earlier. We operate under the Father's House Christian School. We have over 500 students across Alberta, Canada, and we're parent-directed, which means we support our parents to make strong educational choices for their students. Thank you very much. We are very pleased to have this opportunity.
Thank you, Leslie. Shane, before we start in a couple of minutes, please tell us about VK4KHZ, the ham radio station, where you are and how you'd like to handle the conversation today.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian, and welcome everyone. Okay, at VK4KHZ, we're located in Glendon, Queensland, Australia, which is a very small semi-remote mining community. It's located about 200 kilometres inland from the city of Mackay. We have a population of less than 500 people, and I'm at an elevation of almost 400 metres, so this particular location lends itself very well to amateur radio activities. The equipment we'll use today is a Yaesu FT847 with electronically controlled antennas that will track the space station within 1 or 2 degrees so that we maintain a good strong signal. Once I start calling the ISS, don't be too concerned if we don't get a response after the first 1 or 2 calls. I'll keep calling until such time as we get a good strong signal. Once we have that signal and I've established the path between the ground station and the ISS, I'll simply say something along the lines of Taraz, please go ahead with your first question, and that's exactly when Taraz will ask the first question, and hopefully things will proceed nice and smoothly from there on. Okay, back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Shane. We appreciate your work. Just a reminder to everybody, even though that we've done this hundreds of times, what we're doing on the ISS is still an experiment. So we can never really tell the results, either positive or negative, until the experiment is over. Just a final reminder, students, don't forget to say the word over. In about 30 seconds, the station should be coming up over Australia. So Shane, I'm going to turn it over to you. It's all yours. Good luck.
Great, thanks, Brian. Okay, everyone, we've got about 40 seconds before we acquire the signal from the space station. My antennas are just tracking into position at the moment. Now, in a moment, you'll hear just a little bit of white noise, and then I'm going to start calling the station. But just remember, as soon as we've established that good, strong signal, I'll simply say, go ahead with the first question, Taraz. All right, stand by. I'm going to open up the mute now, and you'll hear some white noise, and then I'm going to start calling. So please stand by.
This is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. How are you talking?
November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Victor Kilo 4 Kilo Hotel Zulu. Akiko, this is VK4KHZ. Can you receive me? Over.
Loud and clear. Over.
Okay, thank you, Aki. Please go ahead with the first question there, Taraz.
Hi, my name is Susan. How do you sleep when there is no gravity? Over.
Thanks for the question. Well, we don't have beds and blankets. Instead, we have a sleeping bag. We get wrapped around inside the sleeping bag and sleep in our small, very little room. Over.
Hi, my name is Javier. What do you eat in space, and how do you bring the food to space? Over.
Well, we have space food. We can't prepare or cook our space food, but we warm it up, put some water in, and eat it. Usually it comes in a can or a already cooked meal. We just add water to it and warm it up.
Hi, my name is Miranda. How do you not crash into space debris? Over.
That's a very important question. Big space debris, like 10 centimeters or larger, we can track it from the ground, and if we think we're going to hit it, then the space station is going to move away from it. If it's smaller than 1 centimeter, then we are protected by shields, and we won't be damaged. And there's a little chance that we get hit by something in the middle range, but we get prepared for that emergency situation. Over.
Hi, my name is Max. Is it hard to learn how to walk again on Earth after being in the space station? Over.
That's a very good question. Over. For strength, we have exercise equipment, so we exercise every day. Our muscles were okay, but for me, my balance was off. So for a couple of days on Earth, it took me a while to get used to it. Over.
My name is Esther. My question is, what do you use the Canada arm for?
That's a great question. The Canadarm is used for a lot of things on orbit. We use it to, first of all, assemble the space station. Then now we use it to replace parts or capture a cargo vehicle and dock to the station. Over.
Hi, my name is Sam. How does a candle react when it is lit in space in a zero-gravity and oxygen-supplied environment? Over.
Wow, we do that kind of study on orbit. It's funny because the flame is round. It's not like a long, elongated shape. It's round, and unless you feed oxygen to it forcefully, it's going to burn up and disappear. Over.
Hi, this is Lua. Why is going to Mars a one-way trip for humans? Over.
Well, hopefully it's not going to be a one-way trip for long, but right now it's going to take a while. It's going to take 1 year to get there, maybe 1 year to stay there, and then 1 year coming back. So it's a 3-year-long trip if we do it right now. I don't think it's going to be a one-way trip. It's probably going to be a two-way trip. Over.
Hi, my name is Levi. I am interested in astrophotography. I recently saw a picture that Chris Cassidy captured of Hurricane Laura on August 25th, 2020. Can you manually control the exterior cameras, or are they in a fixed position? Over.
Yes, actually the cameras outside of the International Space Station. The ground controller can actually operate it. It can pan and tilt, and it can also zoom, so they can look at whatever they want to see. Over.
Hi, my name is Keenan. How long do you stay up on the ISS for at a time? Over.
Usually we stay up here for about 6 months, give or take a month or two. But some folks will be staying up here for 1 year to do some more science. Over.
Hi, my name is Keegan. Would a body decompose in space, and if so, how long would it take? Over.
That's a great question. I don't think we have any idea about that. We have never done that before, so it could be something that we need to look into. Over.
Hi, my name is Tirza. What does it feel like to float in space? Over.
It is very relaxing if I'm just floating around, and I can fly like Superman if I need to go from one place to another just by floating and kicking on a wall and going towards that direction. Over.
And my name is Hala. How fast do you go? And how many times do you orbit Earth each day? Over.
We go about 8 kilometers per second. So, we go 8 kilometers in 1 second. And we get like 16 days and nights during one Earth day. Over.
My name is Ezra. What happens if your radios break and you can't talk to Earth? Over.
That's a very important question. So we have multiple radios, and of course we have this ham radio as well. So if something breaks, we go to a backup radio, and we have other means as well. So we are covered. Over.
Hi, my name is Max. What are some experiments you were working on? Over.
Well, there's a lot of things that we're working on on the International Space Station using the microgravity environment, like material science, biology, and also using our own body, we can do some medical science. Over.
Hi, my name is Miranda. How do you know where to land when you leave space and come back to Earth? Over.
Well, the smart people on the ground figure out when we burn our engine to brake the spacecraft and slow down, then the Earth will pull us into Earth and land where we are supposed to. So the great people on the ground, they will be calculating, and they know when exactly and where we will land. Over.
Hi, this is Sam. Do you do anything special on birthdays and holidays in space? Over.
As a matter of fact, there's a birthday coming up, and we are planning to celebrate that. Just have some dinner together, and maybe some costume, maybe, or some stuff going on. Over.
Hi, my name is Lua. What did it feel like looking back at Earth the first time you saw it from space? Over.
Well, the first time I saw Earth, it was breathtaking, no words whatsoever. I'm just looking at it and staring at it, and it was just so beautiful. And it is still beautiful right now. Over.
Hi, this is Levi. What does launching from Earth feel like? Over.
So I've launched from Earth 3 times. The third time was about a month ago, and it just felt like a roller coaster in an amusement park. All 4 of us were laughing and giggling and screaming at the same time because it was just too much fun. Over.
Hi, my name is Keith. Is there anything flammable on the International Space Station? And if there is, what do you do if there is a fire? Over.
So there are flammable stuff, and we do try to keep it in a safe configuration. If it's something that will catch fire, we protect it so it doesn't catch fire. And if it does, we do have some fire suppression equipment on board, and we're trained to put out the fire. Over.
Last question.
My name is Keegan. Does hair grow faster or slower in space? Over.
That's a great question. Here, I think it's about the same, but fingernails seems to be growing faster. That's my impression. We don't have any scientific data, but that's just my impression. Over.
Okay, everyone, that concludes all the questions. Can everyone please give a big applause to Aki, please?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys take care. It was fun.
Okay, NA1SS, this is Victor Kilo 4 Kilo Hotel Zulu. This concludes all of our questions. Aki, thank you very much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to talk with you, and greetings from everywhere throughout the world. Back to you.
Thank you, VK4 Kilo Hotel Zulu. It was great fun. Have fun in Australia. Hope you guys are doing great.
Okay, thank you. 7-3s, VK4KZ now closing.
Oh, to everybody involved, that was fantastic. You have just shared your own moment in history. Amateur radio station VK4KHZ in Queensland, Australia, operated by Shane Lind, VK4KHZ, just contacted Aki Hoshide, KE5DNI, aboard the International Space Station. They spoke with students at the Roots Home Education Program, a program of the Father's House Christian School in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Congratulations to all of the people involved. Give yourself another big hand. And now for the international volunteer team of ARIS, including the Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations around the world, the American Radio Relay League, the CSA, ESA, JAXA, NASA, and Roscosmos. This is Brian Jackson sending my farewell to all of you in amateur radio terms. 7-3 from VE6JBJ. Operator, would you please stop the recording?
This does conclude today's conference. You